I've got 3 children. Rosie's my only daughter. She's 11 now. She's been doing gymnastics since she was 4. Yeah, it's the main part of her life really. She's very committed to it, very passionate about it, and takes it very seriously. So yeah, I'm completely supportive of her doing it. It's always been her thing. She's always been really into it. But I think she was about 9 when she actually decided she really wanted to take it seriously. It was then she said she wanted to become an elite gymnast. I took her to specialist doctors. We started looking into physio to make sure she was well looked after and got her strength up and helped her to perform better. I mean, the way I see it is that this is something that Rosie's really serious about, and I think some people think that because of her age, perhaps it's not that serious, but I know that she's serious, and all the expense and time that we've put into supporting her through all of this process is so that she can get to where she wants to get to, and I'm only doing everything that any parent would do to support their child in their ambition, in their passion.
Rosie's a really talented gymnast. I see a lot of young children in this sport, but I think Rosie's got the whole package. She's really strong, she's really flexible, she's got the artistry for beam and floor. She's got a really good attitude to it, but sometimes she does need quite a bit of persuading.
Rosie's been doing gymnastics for a long time, since she was a baby, and she loves it, she does love it, but she's got 2 older brothers and they've spent a lot of time sitting in cars waiting for her to finish, watching her at competitions. So yeah, I don't think it's been massively fair on them, and I think one thing I do say is that I say we're all sort of gymnastics in a way, because we've been there for so many times. It's been great for Rosie. She's she, as I said before, she loves her hobbies, and I've got to support that, but I have to support all my children's hobbies, and I just think it's been quite tough on her 2 brothers. It's been hard on Rosie too. She broke her metatarsal, and it's been quite a sort of lengthy recovery process for her and for us as well.
Rosie had an injury quite recently. She broke a bone in her foot, her 5th metatarsal, which I think it must have affected her confidence. She's always been incredibly self-disciplined, but yeah, I think it did shake her a bit actually. The doctors have said she's healing very nicely, everything's getting back to normal, she should be up to top level of fitness very soon. So I'm hoping that she'll be back into sort of full swing soon and enjoying it just as much as she usually does. Basically I see that my responsibility is to kind of keep her on track, keep her build up her confidence again, and help her to stay focused as to what the goal is at the end of the day. That all this work that she's been putting in all these years is for a reason. It's not something just to give up on now. She's aiming for national championship, she's aiming for Olympic standard, and obviously if she has moments of sort of querying or feeling as though she's not quite as confident as she was, it's my job to be there to kind of help her and bolster her up again and keep her on track. I mean, it's the same as anything really. It's the same as if my children won't do the homework, they need a bit of badgering to do the homework or to finish the food or whatever they need to kind of have a reminder that you know I'm there as mum. It's my job to make sure that if they start something they finish it, and yeah, that's where we're at with Rosie, is that she's started something. I know she loves it, I know it's what she wants, and it's just making sure that she's not disappointed if she doesn't get to where she wants to get to.
Gymnastics is a big part of my life, and I've been doing it since I was about 4, so yeah. My mum's always driving around in the car for me, and she don't really get to see her friends, and she's always made loads of sacrifices. I put lots into gymnastics and I train 5 days a week, and I have to get up really early some days, and my mum has to shove me out of bed. She says that I'll thank her one day. Sometimes I wish that I could eat more rubbish food and be like the other kids at school. Breaking my foot was hard and it wasn't the easiest thing, but sometimes I felt like packing it in, but my coach told me that sometimes it's fun and sometimes it's hard, so I just have to get on with it. One of the main reasons why I do it is because everybody says that I'm good at it and I love it, so that's why I do it.
I don't know if Rosie's mum's told you, but we separated. Nothing to do with gymnastics, but I don't think it's actually helped, funnily enough. It's been really tough on all the kids, but especially Rosie. Now, Rosie's mum seems to think her lack of enthusiasm towards gymnastics has been to do with this whole situation. I'm really not so sure. I think really Rosie is not been going to gymnastics so much because of her foot, and because really she's getting pushed way too hard. So you are aware that Rosie's mum was a gymnast when she was younger. No, obviously nowhere near as good as Rosie, and really I think she's just trying to live her dreams through Rosie.
Well, if you ask me, it's not about Rosie's pure love for gymnastics. This is more about her mum's way of dealing with the separation. And really, if it was up to me, I'd put a stop to it.
I think Dan sees it as more of a hobby. I think because obviously Rosie's only 11, I don't think he appreciates the fact that she actually is an athlete. She's not just a child with a hobby. She's not just going off to a club to hang out with friends, a youth club or some kind of weekend activity or anything. She trains really hard. She dedicates so much time and so much of her energy to this that I think he just doesn't quite see how important this is to her, and that she's a professional even if she's just a child. I know to people who aren't necessarily in the world of gymnastics, that from the outside it probably can look as though I'm a bit of a pushy mum, but I think if you're in the world of it, you understand that actually she's an athlete. I'm supporting her. That's what I do as a mum with an athlete, as a daughter. Obviously, having been involved in this world for quite a while now, you see a lot of kids who drop out and don't make it as far as they probably could, and I think that's because they don't have the support of their families. They need to have the families completely committed to their routines, to their training. When I say families, it's more the mums really, who are behind the scenes, making it all happen, making sure that they're eating the right things, doing all the right training at the right times, and keeping it all going really. So if I don't get her up in the morning, if I don't chivvy her along if she's feeling a bit down in the dumps, or if she's not feeling like training when she knows she's got a training schedule ahead of her for the day, then she's not going to reach what she wants to reach. She's got her dreams, she knows what she wants to succeed, and if I'm not there taking some responsibility for helping her achieve those goals, then I'm not doing what I should be doing as a mum. So yeah, it's tough love really, but it's all for her.
I love my mum and dad, but I don't really think they agree on my gymnastics. My mum's really supportive, but sometimes she's a bit bossy, and my coach tries to get the best out of me and feel good when I do gymnastics. When I was younger, I wanted to compete in the national levels and maybe even represent Britain in the Olympics, but now I can't really because there's other things in my life. My dad thinks that I should be playing outside with my friends and that I train a bit too much, but I feel like whatever I do, I'm going to upset someone.
Having been rather unhappy for a while, I went down to see the coach, which is quite an awkward situation really, because there's lots of gymnast mums, it's really cliquey, and the coach really it fell upon deaf ears. They've got like tunnel vision just for performance and victory. So nobody really took my concerns seriously.
Rosie's dad's approached us and does think that she's training a little bit too hard, but I think he needs to understand that this is what it takes to be an elite gymnast, and that's the transition that Rosie's making at the minute. The elite gymnasts do about 6 days a week, 6 to 7 hours a day. So we've heard some of the criticisms that we are working these young gymnasts quite hard, but they do need to start at a young age. Gymnasts kind of start between the ages of 3 and 6, and that's just to get their core ability, their strength and flexibility at that young age, and then develop the skills as they get older. Our number one priority is the welfare of the children, just make sure that they develop safely. It's impossible for young athletes to be successful without the full support of the parents. The parents are invaluable really in their training programme. Rosie's mum's really supportive of her gymnastics.
I feel in many ways I've exhausted all my options and don't have any influence over her life now, and I really feel like I've got nowhere to turn. If I lived with her, I could have a say, but I'm still her dad, so why can't I have a say? I've even thought about social services.